Imagine you're an astronaut hurtling through the dark, cold expanse of space. Your destination: the eighth and most distant planet from the Sun, Neptune. What would it be like to land there? And could you, by any stretch of the imagination, survive? Let's take a journey 2.7 billion miles from home to find out. First, let's address the biggest hurdle. There's nothing to actually land on. Neptune is a gas giant, or more accurately, an ice giant. Unlike Earth or Mars, it has no solid surface. It's a massive ball of swirling gas, liquid, and exotic forms of ice. If you tried to land your spacecraft, you'd just keep falling, descending through layer after layer of its thick, turbulent atmosphere. So, let's reimagine our mission. We're not landing, we're descending. As we enter the upper atmosphere, we'd first be struck by the sheer violence of the weather. Neptune is home to the fastest winds in the solar system, with supersonic gusts reaching over 1,200 miles per hour. That's faster than a fighter jet. Your vessel would be tossed around like a leaf in a hurricane, experiencing unimaginable turbulence. Surviving this entry would require a spacecraft far beyond our current capabilities, something incredibly durable and aerodynamic. The atmosphere itself is a hostile mix, mostly hydrogen and helium, with a dash of methane. It's the methane that gives Neptune its beautiful, deep blue color, as it absorbs red light from the sun. But don't let the pretty color fool you. You couldn't breathe this air. You'd be entirely dependent on your suit's life support system. As you plunge deeper, the temperature plummets. In the upper cloud tops, it's a bone-chilling -350 degrees Fahrenheit. Any exposed material would become instantly brittle and shatter. Your suit and spacecraft would need phenomenal insulation to prevent you from freezing solid in a fraction of a second. But the cold is just the beginning of our problems. As you descend further, the pressure starts to build. And it builds rapidly. At the level where the atmospheric pressure is similar to Earth's sea level, the temperature actually starts to rise, but the pressure becomes immense. Keep going, and the pressure becomes so extreme it would crush any submarine we've ever built. We're talking hundreds, then thousands, then millions of times the pressure on Earth's surface. Your body, even inside the most advanced theoretical suit, would be squeezed into nothing. Let's say, through some miracle of future technology, your craft can withstand this. What would you see? The view would be surreal. You'd pass through clouds of ammonia, ice, then deeper, clouds of hydrogen sulfide ice, the stuff that smells like rotten eggs. Deeper still, you might encounter clouds of water ice, similar to those on Earth, but under conditions we can barely comprehend. The sky above would darken from a brilliant blue to an inky black as sunlight fails to penetrate the thick atmospheric layers. The only light might be from massive, planet-sized lightning storms crackling through the clouds. Eventually, if you survive the winds, the cold, and the crushing pressure, you'd reach the mantle. This isn't a rocky mantle like Earth's. On Neptune, it's a bizarre, super hot, and incredibly dense ocean of icy materials. We're talking water, methane, and ammonia, but not as we know them. They're compressed into a hot, dense fluid state. The temperature here could be thousands of degrees, hot enough to melt rock. So you'd go from freezing to boiling in the same journey. And the wonders don't stop there. Scientists theorize that the immense pressure and heat in this deep mantle could break down methane molecules. The carbon atoms would then be squeezed together, forming solid diamonds. Imagine it, a bizarre dark world where it literally rains diamonds. These diamonds would then sink even further down, perhaps forming a solid layer around the planet's core. It's a treasure you could never hope to retrieve. Speaking of the core, what's at the very center of Neptune? We believe it's a solid core of rock and ice, maybe about 1.5 times the size of Earth. But reaching it is impossible. By the time you got anywhere near it, you and your ship would have been vaporized by the heat and crushed into a subatomic pulp by the pressure. So, could you survive on Neptune? The answer is a definitive no. There's no surface to stand on. The winds would tear you apart, the cold would freeze you instantly, and the pressure would crush you. It's one of the most inhospitable places in our entire solar system. But what about its moons? Neptune has 14 known moons, and the largest one, Triton, is a slightly different story. Slightly is the key word here. Triton is a fascinating world, one of the coldest objects in the solar system, with a surface temperature of around -391 degrees Fahrenheit. Unlike Neptune, Triton has a solid, icy surface you could actually land on. But that surface is made mostly of frozen nitrogen, along with water, ice, and dry ice. It also has a very, very thin atmosphere, mostly nitrogen, about 70,000 times less dense than Earth's. You definitely couldn't breathe it, and it offers no protection from solar radiation. What's really wild about Triton is that it's geologically active. Despite the extreme cold, it has cryovolcanoes, or ice volcanoes. These don't erupt molten rock, but rather a slushy mix of liquid nitrogen, methane, and dust. These plumes shoot miles into the sky before freezing and falling back down in snow. So, you could land, but you'd need to watch out for freezing geysers. Surviving on Triton would be a monumental challenge. You'd need a habitat that could protect you from the extreme cold and radiation, a constant supply of power, probably from a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, and a way to generate oxygen and grow food. The low gravity, about 8% of Earth's, would also have long-term effects on your body. It's not as hostile as Neptune itself, but it makes Antarctica look like a tropical resort. So, our journey to the Neptune system reveals a place of beautiful, terrifying extremes. A planet of supersonic winds and diamond rain, with no place to stand. A moon of frozen nitrogen and ice volcanoes. While we can't survive there, studying these distant worlds pushes the boundaries of our knowledge and fuels our imagination. It reminds us of the sheer diversity and wonder of the cosmos, and perhaps makes us appreciate our own stable, life-giving blue dot just a little bit more. What a trip! Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey to the edge of our solar system. If you enjoyed this cosmic adventure, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into space, and let me know in the comments which planet you'd like to visit next. Until then, keep looking up.